Do the executive order piece.
Yes, please.
Okay.
And we are recording as of now.
Okay. Are the other two going to join us, or should we just call it to order?
I doubt that Councilmember Donahue will, but Vice Mayor Martinez said she was going to try, so, and I haven't heard again from her.
Let's give her just another minute then.
Okay.
Does anyone confirm?
Sherry?
Let me find
Oh,
her.
she's the 310.
Oh, I see, because she didn't use her panelist. Okay. So this is her here?
Yeah.
Okay. What I may do is just,
The phone number.
Okay, Vice Mayor, I think you're with us now, correct?
She's muted.
She's
Yeah.
muted on her end. Well, let's go ahead and start while we work on the unmuting, if that's okay, Sherry.
sure.
It'll take a minute before we get to roll call. So I will call this special meeting to order on August 19th. It is 6:03 p.m. Pursuant to California Governor Gavin Newsom's executive order number 2920, the legislative body is authorized to hold this public meeting remotely and to make those meetings accessible to all members of the public seeking to observe and address our body. They can do so by going to the city's website, www.emeryville.org, and clicking on the agenda, City Council agenda link. And this is going to be a relatively short meeting, so we've called it to order. Can we get a quick roll call, please?
Yes. Councilmember Bouders?
Here.
Councilmember Donahue is absent. Councilmember Medina?
Here.
Vice Mayor Martinez?
I'm here.
And Mayor Pats.
And I am here. So I'm going to move approval of the final agenda, but I'm going to make a special request that we adjourn this meeting on elections in memory of Mike Lee, who passed away recently, and I will talk about him. He is a homeless advocate from Berkeley who has run for mayor multiple times. So if everyone's approval, I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Bouders?
Aye.
Councilmember Donahue is absent. Councilmember Medina?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Martinez?
Aye.
And Mayor Pats.
Aye. Any ex parte communications? Seeing none other than some residents. Okay. At this time, we will take public comment. So we will take public comment on both items at once, if that's okay with you, Sherry, because we only have one item on the agenda and we will not have much of a presentation. So do we have anybody who submitted a comment card or anyone raising their hand?
We do have one online comment card submitted for the item itself, so I can read that into the record now.
Perfect.
Oops. Okay, dear City Council members, we, the officers of the SEIU Emeryville chapter, oppose your proposal to cancel elections for the 3 City Council seats that are up this year, even though they are not being contested and that there are no ballot measures. Campaigns of local candidates are critical to ensuring constituent awareness, civic engagement, and participation in other regional, state, and national elections. The staff report does not provide a reason for doing so except to note that there are legal provisions that allow for such a cancellation. The report mentions a cost saving of $42,000 as a result of this action. The impulse to save funds is understandable. However, engagement of citizens of Emeryville that is already difficult should not be foregone at a time when our democratic institutions are coming under severe strain and attack. This move to cancel the elections will be precedent-setting in an election year that can likely define the future of our nation. If council does decide to cancel the elections, there should at the very least be a strong commitment by the candidates to be nominated to campaign for the issues they would have endorsed in campaigning, creations of newsletters or blogs for the election education and outreach, including how to use ballot boxes, absentee mailing, and voting early should be made. Additionally, such efforts should be combined with census outreach and education by all candidates. Miru Desai, SEIU Emeryville, Chapter President.
Excellent. And I see we have a hand raised.
Let's see. So we do. Go ahead, Navar.
Can you hear me?
Speak up a little bit louder, please.
I don't know if I can. Can you
that's
hear me?
good. That's good.
Okay. So I am the chief steward for SEIU Emeryville chapter, and I'm here to reiterate Miru's email. And just to point out that, you know, at this time when there are so many challenges to our democracy and to the rights of voters, that, you know, we understand what you're doing potentially to save money, or if there is another reason, like, we'd like to know. But we're just concerned about, despite it being legal, that it's not a good look, that, you know, having the open election, having people just have the opportunity to write in is only fair for the community. So that's my closing statement there.
Thank you. Okay, any other comments or any other public comment? I see no other hands raised.
I see no other comments.
Okay, so we are on item 6.1, and I don't feel the need for staff presentation, but I will throw that out there to my colleagues. Would they like the staff to present? I think we all agree we can skip presentation, and so I will hand it off to anybody who'd like to speak on this issue. Vice Mayor Martinez, just because I can't see you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to express that I appreciate the sentiments that SEIU have submitted. And in normal times, I would feel 100% the same. But knowing that we have a projected $16 million deficit over the next 2 years, I think we should possibly weigh the opportunity to save $42,000 and spend that on city services. So I'd love to hear from colleagues as well. Open to
Member Bowders, do you want to add to this? Again, I can't see you.
I believe.
Oh, Diane, you cut
I
out.
believe.
I
Did I cut out? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, I just wanted to express that I believe in full faith that all 3 candidates can and will continue to do the work that they're doing on election awareness. I know my colleagues have asked about places where people will be able to vote, and intend to keep everyone in our community informed as to how to vote, and really push that effort forward, as well as continued efforts to aid in the census. So I'd love to hear from my colleagues on this as well.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Member Medina.
Thank you so much. You know, as someone who started my career political organizing, who led voter registration drives that registered 30,000 voters, who really enjoys door knocking and made this a prominent portion of my first campaign, this came as a real shock to me, right? It's not a scenario that I had ever envisioned, nor one that I even enjoy. I actually like door knocking and have done so for every ballot measure we've put up. However, I do not like doing things for no reason. There's no other possible outcome than that the three of us are going to continue to serve, which is just a foregone conclusion. So it's not about having like a robust process. That process happens, nobody else files. And so while I think that all of us as candidates are very politically engaged in our communities and will obviously work with our voters to get them out on all the issues that we care about, which there are many on this upcoming ballot, the census is very important to us as well. I don't believe that this election serves any other purpose than, you know, if we were just going to showboat and get our name out to further a future political career. And I don't think any of us are interested in spending Emeryville's taxpayer money on doing that. So no, I think we should move the motion.
Excellent.
To the resolution.
Member Bowders, are you ready for us?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have nothing to add. I just agree with Vice Mayor Martinez and Councilmember Medina.
You know, I struggled with this because people have said to me a couple of times, what about the write-ins? And my response, and by people, I don't mean Emeryville people, I have some friends online. And my response has been the same. In California, to be a write-in candidate, you have to go and register and file paperwork. You don't just get someone's name written in. There is a process. So what we are saying is we are going to spend a lot of money to allow people who couldn't meet a deadline come in and ultimately lose to names that are pre-printed in the ballot. That said, I wholeheartedly agree that we need to get out the vote. We need to encourage people to understand how they can vote. And I just don't see, I agree wholeheartedly with what Member Medina said. It would be a vanity project to do it on our end, and it makes far more sense. I know I'm engaged in a couple of other local campaigns that I don't want to feel comfortable talking about on the dais. And so I will just say that those activities will occur. I wouldn't be door knocking this year either way because it's not appropriate. And so with that, I will take a motion.
I'll move the resolution.
And do we have a second?
I will second.
So we have a motion from Member Medina and a second from Vice Mayor Martinez.
Councilmember Bowders.
Aye.
Councilmember Donahue is absent. Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Martinez.
Aye.
And Mayor Pats.
Aye. And that brings us to adjournment. And as I said in the agenda section, community activist Mike Lee passed away at age 64 about a week ago, 2 weeks ago now. And if you were not familiar with Mike Lee was all about the process and all the issues we talked about, getting the vote out, getting the people's voice heard, whether you agreed with his politics or not. And he still has the single best slogan I have ever heard. Mike Lee was homeless during several of his campaigns, and his slogan was "Throw a bum into office," which is still the most brilliant campaign slogan. And I think we would do a lot worse than having somebody who's experienced homelessness in office, as we have seen on this council. And with that, I adjourn this meeting in Mike Lee's name.
At 6:14.
At 6:14, sorry.